You're watching TVC Breakfast. In Nigeria, election security is a critical issue and millions of Nigerians, or millions of naira rather, are budgeted specifically for that purpose.
For the provision of security during elections, the Nigeria Police is the security agency tasked with the job. But since return of democracy in 1999, the military has played a supportive role in providing security during elections.
The army is now being accused of perpetrating violence and election malpractices, especially in River State during the March 9 governorship and state houses of assembly election.
Well, the question some Nigerians are now asking is, should the military be involved in providing security during our elections?
All right, joining me now is a security consultant and former assistant director, State Security Services, SSS, nicknamed DSS, Dennis Amakri. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's really good to see you join us this morning.
Very well.
Now, should we conclude that maybe because our democracy is still evolving and in a very junior level or in a very nascent level as we use it, that we often we deploy security to the level where everyone feels that we're going for war when elections come?
I would say that looking at it holistically, we could say that we are evolving. But we could not reinvent the wheel because since independence, we've carried out so many elections. And
2019 election is the 10th election since independence.
Yeah, and then that 2019 election has been the most violent, you know. And of course, the involvement of the military has been a situation that is a cause for worry. Even the Chief of Army Staff had set up a committee to investigate actually what happened. So I think following the Electoral Act and in our Constitution themselves, the military can be involved, but not at the level where they did.
All right, but military, we're on ground, police, we're on ground, DSS, we're also involved. But how do we justify that when we still had violence, we still had killings in River State, we still had killings in Bayelsa, in Delta, in Kogi, in Oyo, and all of that?
Yeah, I think the threat was misunderstood, whereby the initial threat was ballot box snatching. In fact, the president came out to say that, oh, ballot boxes will be snatched, and if anybody did that, they should be dealt with. So that was what everybody was looking at. Now, when the military come in there, I think they moved away from their rule of engagement, you know, and they moved away from their level in the concentric circles, because in the election situation, there's supposed to be 3 concentric circles where you have the inner ring with unarmed, because you don't want to scare people who are voting. Unarmed people who are going to be by the polling unit, and then you have the outer ring of quick response, police quick response, and then the outer ring where you have the military. And it is only to support, you know, so
in case there is
any problem in the inner ring, they are to support. But we saw the military right in the inner ring, so it shows that something was wrong.
Could this be seen as because when the military does anything, they always talk about orders from above. Could this be part of it? Because when it comes to understanding the rules of engagement, we believe that the military, above every other person, understands the rule of engagement when it comes to security. So if we see them being involved in the ring, like you put it, can one conclude that it could be they could be acting on orders? You
see, there is something that has even gone wrong. You don't really deploy military into internal security situations. Ideally. Because when they go in there, you know, the mixture of military in civilian population is a very, very bad marriage. It doesn't work out well, you know. So That's why even when you have in the extractive industry where they talk about voluntary principles of human rights and security, where they now try to lay down rules that the military or the armed personnel who are working in the communities where oil is being extracted, the way they should behave, you know, because it's very, very important. You know, and some companies that did not do well have been taken to court and lost a lot of money. So it's the same thing, whereby in our society we should not involve the military so much.
So now I wonder, when you look at the projections, how soon can we mature enough to say, okay, military, stay away from election activity, and then the police, stay this far, as the case may be?
I think the whole idea, this is 2019, we should make away with all of them.
Okay.
We should go electronic.
We should experiment.
Yes, we should go electronic. Some people say we're not matured enough for it. After all, they said Nigerians were not matured enough for cell phones. Now everybody uses it, right? So let us go.
Except my grandmother in the village. Dennis Amakri, thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.